Here at Lens Crackers, we can crack your fine, high-quality eyewear in less than an hour. Our trained technicians use only the best equipment to crack your fine quality eyewear. So remember, Lens Crackers, we can crack them in less than an hour. Yes, they can crack them in less than an hour. Look at the beautiful job they do. Oh, they crack lenses better than anybody. Let me tell you. So if you want to support my sponsors, you support this channel. So thank you very much for all the people who've gone out and gotten their fine, high-quality eyewear cracked by the Lens Crackers. Well, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Well, here we are again, friends. Well, and you know what day it is today? What day is it? It's Friday night and everything's right for the weekend. Crazy clothes and anything goes on the weekend. John called Ann and Jim got Sue. I made a day with little old you. Off we went to make a big dent in the weekend. Oh yeah, making a big dent on that big old weekend there. Well, I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I was not able to travel to my mom's to have Thanksgiving up there, but I had a wonderful little Thanksgiving with my daughter Alicia and her two fine children, Chloe and Evan. And so we had a wonderful time, and she made subgum. Subgum was a very favorite dish that my mother makes, and it's one she learned from her brother's wife's recipe, and she's from China, so it's a Chinese recipe, and it's got spaghetti in it. The Chinese had spaghetti before Italy, so just so you know. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, thank you again for tuning on in. Don't forget to share this out and hit the old like, because it helps the old algo rhythm and the algo beat and the algo melody. Oh, all those algo things that we have no idea what they are, but there's something mystical on the intranet, aren't they? Yes, there's something. What are they? We don't know. You can't even work on your own car anymore. There's too many confusers, right? You used to be able to work on your car with like a wrench and a screwdriver. Not anymore. Nope. Not anymore. No. Well, let's go on over to Chatlandia and see who's chatting all over there, shall we? Oh, you know what? We gotta get this on the screen right away. Let's do that. Get the chats on the screen. We're gonna go big, baby. Big and tall. Big and tall. Like the big and tall shops for men. There you go. How do you like that one? All right. Well, let's see who's chatting over there in Chatlandia. It's a great little place. You should check it out. It's Catherine Weiss. It's Weiss123. She says, and she's one of her ultramods. She says, "Hi, Aaron." And then she says, "I'll be over on YouTube tonight." And then she says, "Hi, Peggy." And then I said, "Hi, Kathy." And then I said, "Okay." Oops, did I get that up there? Okay. And then look who's here. Why, it's Peggy Dancer, another one of our ultramods. She says, "Hi, Aaron." "Hi, Weiss123, Kathy." "I'm staying here, Aaron." Okay. That's cool. And then over there on YouTube, Kathy says, "Hi, Aaron." And I said, "Hi, Peggy." Over on Rumble. Oh, I get so confused. It doesn't take much these days to get me confused. I'm still getting used to this double streaming stuff. Oh, looks like we have a what you call it? We have a troll. So I'm going to go over there and take care of him right now. I wish this would go right to my channel. It doesn't. So many things. Which one? This one. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be deleted, buddy. Remove. I don't exactly know how to remove it completely. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, and I haven't really done any modding over there. So, yeah. We're not even going to post that on the screen. That's pretty ridiculous. I said, hi, Peggy. And then Peggy says over on YouTube, ugh, my YouTube is still messed up. Hi, Weiss123, Catherine. Then I said, hi, Kathy, over there on YouTube. And I'm not going to even say who that next person is. And this person, Kimberly Flores, says, hi. Hi, Kimberly. I hope you're a real person. It's hard to tell who are real people these days. And we also have another one over there. Oh, and Kimberly says yes. Well, I hope so. I hope so. You know, these bots are getting so smart, though. You know, you never know. Here's another one. I don't know if it's a bot or a real person. Kenzie Petty. I don't know if that's a real person, but hello if you are. Please let us know if you are or if you aren't. All right. Well, we're done with that for now. And isn't that weird? I already got a troll. Man, that's one thing about YouTube. They got way more trolls and way more scummy, you know, I don't know, all that yucky stuff that you don't want on your channel. And but it's not really not there on Rumble. Not that I can even remember. But anyway. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, here we go. We're on our way again here. Another big episode on the Truth Quest. Questing for the truth, because that's what we're looking for. We don't care about lies and fake stories. We want the truth. Because you know why? Because we are saving the world with memes and dad jokes. That's what we're doing. And yes, we're doing it very well, I believe, because the world is still here. I think our saving the world is working for now. And let's just hope that it keeps going that way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's not what I wanted. Go back over to there. I'm a little late today because I had a little bit of trouble getting started. There's so much I have to do to get ready. Yes, Kathy, but I see your post. Let me see. I'll put it up there. That was on the phone version of the show. It's a completely different chat. There's somebody else over there too. That Kenzie Petty. So we seem to be getting more people on the smartphone, the vertical, I guess they call it the portrait rather than the landscape. So yeah, they snuck in over there. That's where you went. Well, I already removed it. I didn't know how to block them, because I would like to block them forever, but they don't, I'm trying to do the show, trying to do this over here, that over there. And it's really hard to do everything, So that's why I'm grateful that I have Ultra Mods. So, alrighty then. Well, let's go over to the Book of Faces, or what you might like to call, what I like to call, the Land of Zuckers. Yeah, and I didn't even have time to make coffee today. So I'm drinking water. But you know what? I might be cutting down on coffee because the other night I was sleeping and my heart started just flipping out. And that's never a good thing. And so my daughter looked it up on the intranet, and one of the causes of that could be too much caffeine. And well, I know I drink too much coffee because just the other day I cut my finger by accident. Coffee came out. So that's how I know I drink too much coffee. And Kimberly says, Book of Face. Yes. Oh, and Kathy said, I'll check if they post again. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Kathy. All right. Well, here we are. There's our beautiful thumbnail for tonight. Isn't that just lovely? The greatest artwork is in the skies, in the great outer space. There's just wonderful things going on out there. Collisions and explosions and supernovas and nebulas, and everything else like that. So that's one of them. We're going to talk about it when we get there. It's episode number 702. Can you believe it? Oh, Carrie Swearingen liked my going live link. Well, thanks, Carrie. We'll have to have her and her hubby on for another show. And this was from Kathy Jackson, Facebook Conservatives. When Muslims are in the minority, they are very concerned with minority rights. When they are in the majority, there are no minority rights. Yes, that's their little trick. Don't fall for it like these other countries. I think there's 54 countries that fell for it, and they can't get out of it because they'll just get stoned to death if they say anything, or burned alive, because that's their law. It's a terrible, terrible, barbaric system they've got, and I think it's nasty. Plus, they follow a pedophile. Not cool. Not good. And then Trump says, if they can't love our country, we don't want them. Yes, we don't. We don't want any of them. Only the ones who can love our country and be a positive attribute to the country. You know what? When I was a lot younger, I was thinking about maybe moving to Canada. So I looked into it, to becoming a citizen of Canada. And they were like, I was already beyond the age where they would accept someone in. It's like, so every other country has different criteria, and you had to have a lot of money, which I didn't have. So we can't just let everybody in. I don't care what these bleeding hearts say. And we let more people in our country than any other country in the world. But we can't just open the doors like Sleepy, Creepy, Crooked Joe did, because that's just no good. No good, no good. 7,000 houses did not host families for Thanksgiving today because Gavin Newsom, let it burn. Let it burn. Gavin Newsom, California. Are you idiots or dumb? No, they're trapped in an election stealing, whatever you call it. They're stealing the elections every single time. Oh, what's this? Oh, Turkey pardoned by Biden administration 4 times commits violent turkey murder. Oh, the Babylon Bee. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Even the turkeys he pardoned are going bad. Oh, when you're bad, everything you do is bad, and Biden is bad. They both start with B. Biden and bad. Not much difference. Oh, you say you want a little bat action? Oh, here you go.
Oh, Batman. I see you've decided to take a crack at this.
Glad to have you flanking this Batgirl. Gun? What are you doing to our bodies?
Docky, baby, you are super psychedelic.
I feel like getting flat.
What a pity.
Oh, Batman. I see you've decided to take a crack at this.
Glad to have you.
Oh, yeah. That's, of course, the third and final season. The only season with Batgirl. Yeah, there it is. A little bat action. And here is Trump being Trump. And yes, this is what I voted for. Oh, it looks like Kimberly Flores says, I liked, thank you. And she also said, that is funny. Yeah, isn't it funny? I love that show. Oh, and look what we have here. It's Austin Morris. The auto pen pardoned Biden's turkeys. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And they went bad anyway. That's right. Good to see you over there on YouTube, buddy. All right, let's listen to our commander in chief. Yes, I voted for this.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why
I
would
don't
the
go to
Department
war.
of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
That's not war. That's common sense. I agree. And that's what I voted for. Be blunt with the fake news. They don't deserve any quorum. And this is from Bongino Inc. Political earthquake hits Ukraine. President Zelensky, Chief of Staff Andrei Yermak has resigned just hours after anti-corruption agency investigators raided his house. Is something big going to go down in Ukraine? Well, looks like something's happening. And here's our friend Jeff Foxworthy. Of course, many of you know he endorsed the 2 children's books I illustrated, Popple and Popple's Place. And here he is. He's such a nice guy. Here he is, and he's a hunter. So he's got some taxidermy of some of the things he's gotten. So check this out.
And my grandson, his favorite thing in here is the doll sheep. But he will tell you, he goes, this is a doll sheep, and he has a wiener. It's the only thing in here that you can see that on. And, you know, when you're 4, what's funnier than a wiener? And my grandson, his favorite thing in here.
What's funnier than a wiener? Nothing. That's pretty funny. Oh, yeah. Here's the from Trish Regan, the 11 lessons that Trump expounds, that he suggests. 11 lessons that he's learned. So let's check this out. I know we might have seen this before, but it's worth a revisit. So let's check. Oh, before we do that, I see Kathy posted this. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Hit the old thumbs up because it helps the algorithm, the algo beat, and all those other algo things. Those confuser things. Thanks, Kathy, for putting that out. And then Kim says, oh my God, that is so funny, isn't it? A hot dog. Yes, Peggy. A hot dog. Here's the 11 lessons, and maybe you can be as successful as Trump if you follow these lessons.
Everyone needs to see this.
Let me share some of the biggest lessons I've learned from a lifetime spent building dreams. First, if you think that you're too young to do something great, let me tell you that you are wrong. You're not too young. In America, with drive and ambition, young people can do anything. Second of all, and very importantly, you have to love what you do. I rarely see somebody that's successful that doesn't love what he or she does. Third thing is to think big. You know, you're going to do something, you might as well think big, because it's just as hard to solve a small problem as a big problem, and it's just as much energy and everything else, except the result is going to be a smaller one. So love what you do, but think big. Fourth is work hard. Work hard. Fifth is don't lose your momentum. You just want to keep it going, and you have to know if you are losing it, you have to know when you're losing it. So maybe you stop, and maybe it's time to stop. Number six, if you want to change the world, you have to have the courage to be an outsider. In other words, you have to take certain risks and do things a little bit differently. Otherwise, if that weren't the case, everybody would be successful. Number seven is to trust your instincts, common sense. You can go very far in life with common sense. Eighth, everybody should believe in the American dream. It's real, it's there, and it's right before you. Ninth, think of yourself as a winner. The power of positive thinking. In recent years, too many of our young people have really been taught to think of themselves as victims. But in America, we reject that idea that anyone is born a victim. Our heroes are the ones who take charge of their own destiny despite the odds. And next is to be an original. The old-time greats were people who had the confidence to be a little different. God only created one of you, so don't try to be someone else. Finally, and most importantly, never, ever give up. I've learned that perseverance is everything, so whatever happens, no matter where you are in life, stay optimistic and just keep pushing forward. Never let anyone tell you that something is impossible, ever, ever, ever. In America, the impossible is what we all do best.
No matter your politics, those are good lessons.
Yes, they are. Thanks, Trish. And you said you want some rockabilly, maybe? Oh, how about some Eddie Cochran? Because nobody does rockin' like Eddie Cochran. Take a listen to this.
Well, I got a gal with a reggae machine. When it comes to rockin', she's a queen. We love to dance on Saturday night. All alone where I can hold her tight. But she lives on the 20th floor of town. The elevators are broken down. So I walk 1, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. I'm on 12, now I'm starting to drag. 15th floor, I'm ready to sing. Get to the top, I'm too tired to rock. Well, she called me up on the telephone. Said, come on over, honey, I'm all alone. I said, baby, you're mighty sweet, but I'm in the middle with the aching feet. This went on for a couple of days, but I couldn't stay away. So I walked 1, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. I'm on 12, now I'm starting to drag. 15th floor, I'm ready to sing. Get in top, I'm too tired to rock.
And of course, that was 20 Flight Rock by Eddie Cochran. And he actually was one of the first people in music to do multi-stream recording, multi-track recording. So he did it way back as a very young kid too. And so that's Eddie Cochran. And if you like that guitar he's got and it looks familiar to you, it should, because Brian Setzer of the Stray Cats saw an Eddie Cochran album at a record store and said, I got to get that same guitar. And that's the exact same guitar. It's a Gretsch. So there you go. Nobody does rockin' like Eddie Cochran. And here is Biden's auto pen terminated. Did you hear about this? Any document signed by Sleepy, Creepy, Crooked Joe, I added that part, with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, wow, is hereby terminated and of no further force and effect. So he's just, there it is, gone with the wind, you might even say. Good. That's good. I'm glad he can do that. There it is again. Yep. So there it is, Bongino Inc. And here's this creep that killed that woman that was just standing guard there. So sad. So sad. Oh, did you hear this? Shocking bombshell. Democrat deep state treason exposed. FBI leaks green light text to Afghan terrorist shooter by Jonathan Gregory. November 28th. Leaked FBI intelligence has revealed a chilling green light encrypted text message sent to 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanal Lakwali just hours before his deadly ambush on two West Virginia National Guard heroes near the White House on November 26, 2025. Yeah, you know, he came all the way from Washington State to do this. And curiously, you know, they now, I think a new thing over on X, they can tell when or where when someone punches someone's name in to check on, like when someone is in the news, you go and you look for their name, right? Well, this National Guardsman who the woman who died, her name was Googled before the shooting, and they can tell the area, and it was from Israel. So take that for what it's worth. I don't know if it means anything, but who knows? Telepathy. Aliens communicate how? Well, let's check this out.
This is Clifford Stone.
I am prepared to state that I have been at locations where craft of unknown origin that did not originate on the face of this planet was there. I am prepared to state that while I was there, we saw living, dead bodies of entities that were not born on this planet.
On paper, just a communication sergeant, but he claimed his real orders were different: UFO crash retrievals. The cover stories were always the same: accidents, spills, tests gone wrong. Stone said he was chosen to communicate with the beings, trained to give first aid through telepathy.
I am prepared to state that we had what they referred to as interfacing with those entities.
And in interviews, he could barely hold back tears remembering it.
Realized what I was seeing was not of a earthly origin. Hesitant to go into it too much because I don't want to get emotional about it.
This is Clifford Stone.
I am prepared to state.
And Cap 78 Peggy Dancer says, yes, both their names were being searched before shooting, and so was Charlie Kirk. So was Charlie Kirk before his assassination. Grr. Yeah, so these things, you see them happening. Oh, wow, what a random thing. Nothing is random. Everything is planned. Just remember that, folks. Nothing is random. Everything is planned, and there's a lot of evil people out there. So, yeah. And Kimberly says, oh my God. And Austin says, I found my copy of Clifford Stone's autobiography, but I haven't had time to reread it. I've got that book too. Paola Harris was the one that helped him get that book out, because it's from interviews she did with him, because he didn't have a book. So she got him that book. And that was a lovely thing she did for him, because now, of course, he's passed away. So he was a very important person in the disclosure movement way before this current drip disclosure. We had the flood disclosure before, but it wasn't covered. It's very sad. Very sad indeed. Oh, you want to see something nice? Check this out. And this is from Beeble follow. Okay, Beeble. Just a little bee enjoying some flowers at peace with the world. Isn't this lovely? Look at this. I didn't know you could bring a flower to a bee. Isn't that just the cutest little thing there? Yes. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, what's next here? Oh, yeah. Remember that? Get yourself a president that can do both.
And I'm honored to stand before you as the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States. And I actually was there for about 30 minutes, and that was 30 minutes longer than Kamala was there. And I'm honored to stand before you.
Don't you love it? Oh, man. He never stops trolling. And that's what we voted for. A single flu shot changed his life forever. RFK Jr.'s voice was permanently damaged by the flu vaccine. Imagine that. Spasmodic dysphonia, a neurological condition, is listed as one of the hundreds of adverse effects in the package insert. He has battled his vaccine injury since 1996. Wow. So, yeah, you want to stay healthy? Stay away from those shots. Shots make you shot. Stay healthy. Do like the Amish. They don't do that nasty stuff. You can never get healthy from pumping poison into your body. Let's just leave it at that. If it did work, everyone would be super healthy, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they be? Oh, and Peggy Dancer says, and the dance with the bees and a flower is known as bebop. Oh, really? LOL. And look who's here. Why, it's Chroniviewer. Hello, Chroniviewer. He says, hi, Aaron. And where am I? Oh, there it is. Hi, Chroniviewer. All righty. Here we go. Oops. Peggy Dancer says, hi, Chroniviewer. I said, hi, Chroniviewer. And Kathy says, hi, Chroniviewer. And Kim says, hi, Aaron. Hello there. Glad to have you here. Yeah, so don't get those shots. It's my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I pretend to be one, but not really. Not really. This is too small for me to read the way it's showing up here. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving salutation to all the great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, census, most of which are on welfare. Well, this is the foreign population. Yeah, and I can't really read the rest of that, but it's a really good post. In one of these posts, he calls Tim Walz in Minnesota severely retarded, and I can't agree with him more. Kim in the chat is asking, what days do you go live? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at about 9 p.m. Central, because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. Oh, yeah. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The National Guard shooter and his wife and 5 kids were moved straight into Walton Place apartments, subsidized housing, partnered with, let's see more, Bellingham Housing Authority. The wait list for Washington families is 6 months to 3 years. Our own elderly, disabled, single moms and veterans were pushed aside, while Afghan migrants are allowed to cut the entire line and take resources meant for Americans. And now, how does he repay America? By taking the lives of our American troops. It's pretty sick. That's what Sleepy, Creepy, Crooked Joe did. Terrible. Terrible president. Everything he did should be, well, it's being reversed, but it should be automatically reversed. Approximately 85% of the world's refugees are Muslims, but they don't seek asylum in the 56 Muslim countries. They only seek asylum in non-Muslim countries. But why? Because they want to conquer us. That's why. And every other country. Because they like throwing stones at people and killing them legally in their law. Sick people that follow an evil pedophile. That's their creep Mohammed that they pray to in the streets, like they pray like dogs to this pedophile. It's disgusting. And we know, put this out, President Trump, First Lady Melania, and Barron arrive at Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving dinner. Let's watch this. Isn't that nice? He knows how to put on events, let me tell you. Best there is. Here's something that Danny retweeted from Cat Turd. It's going to take years to clean up the disastrous mess Joe Biden and the Democrats forced onto our nation, purposely flooding our country with 20 million, I say it's 30 or 40 million, unvetted illegals from across the globe. The Democrat Party is the enemy of the people. I agree. And I used to be a lifelong Dem. And I'm embarrassed about it now. And I guess I woke up. And Kim says, bye, have a good day. I enjoyed watching you. You just made my night way better. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Breaking, President Trump says he's considering something huge, completely eliminating federal income tax. Oh, yeah. That's better than letting millions of aliens in. Let Americans keep their money. Yes, let's do that. Shall we? Every judge that let out one of these monsters out need to be charged with murder. Yes, they do. Disgusting. And look at this car. Whoa. This is a Rambler. And it looks like it's I think this is a 60 Rambler. I had a 60 Rambler, exactly like this, the Ratmobile, but it wasn't a cop car. But it makes a pretty cool looking cop car. And those Ramblers, I'm telling you, they're built like a tank. A tank. They were the first automobile to be unibody construction. No frame, all fused together in one unit that survives much better in crashes. And the outer shell of this car, the outer skin, the metal on this car, way, way, way thicker than the outer skin on cars of that day. Very thick metal. That's why they don't rust. Dan Bongino's salary was an estimated $4.9 million in 2024. Milla Joy put this out. His new salary is $221,000. Pete Hegseth's salary was an estimated $2.3 million in 2024. His new salary is $256,000. Janine Pirro made an estimated $5 million in 2024. Her new salary is $195,000. Sean Duffy made an estimated $1 million last year. His new salary is $253,000. They aren't in it for the money. They are in it for the love of country. Pure patriots. Thanks, Brendy Powers, for putting that out there. This guy is great, Congressman Brandon Gill. He's so funny too. And he says, how many times do we have to hear Allah Akbar in America before we recognize Islam is a problem, big problem? Ooh, and here is the image that we used for our thumbnail tonight, and it's from NASA's Hubble telescope. Hubble captured a view fit for a Thanksgiving feast, the Calabash Nebula. Calabashes are a type of gourd, and just like this dying star, they're lopsided in shape. Interesting. Almost looks like a bowling pin, doesn't it? With a ring, like a bowling pin with a hula hoop. Interesting. In this image, a star has heated up and expanded in size, rapidly shedding its outer layers, gas and dust. This dense material, shown in yellow, orange, streams away at about 600,000 miles per hour. How do they know that? How do they exactly know what speed it's going? I don't know. Maybe they're good at guessing. Happy Thanksgiving from Hubble team. Well, you're welcome. And look at this. America loves liberty. President Trump just showed up unexpectedly at the barracks of the National Guard protecting Washington, D.C. and announced that they're all getting a $10,000 Christmas bonus. That's awesome. That's what a leader does right there. John Crawford, Dems, you must refuse illegal order. Dems say you must refuse illegal orders. Soldiers, like the one ordering us to get COVID shots. Dems, no, not that one. Yeah. The Dems were the only ones issuing illegal orders. Oh, look at this. Cream of 3D chicken. Did you hear that? In a high-ranking person in Campbell's Soup, now he's gone. They ousted him. Was talking about how he would never eat this crap. It's made for disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They should label it like that. Actually, they might increase their sales. Who knows? Ilhan Omar says, I hate Trump. Trump says, most terrorists do. Thin blue line. Ronnie Craig likes that too. I'm thankful Trump won. Yes. Something to be thankful about. Aaron Greisen put this out. Trump exposes Biden's treasonous plot, deliberate Afghanistan collapse, floods America with 77,000 terrorists. 77,000? Wow. Funded by taxpayers. Disgusting. Absolutely, positively disgusting. Here's something that's actually really cool. And this is a sketch done by the late, great William Mills Tompkins, writer of the book. And this image appears in that book, selected by extraterrestrials. He's sadly now passed away. But William was the guy who designed much of the Apollo program. He was working in the blue sky projects for a lot of these firms. And he was working on the Apollo program since the early 60s. He developed the area where all the engineers would sit. And he also built another much smaller unit underground where they got the feed first. Then they decided who would get it. And he said, this is what he saw on the screen. 6 gigantic ships on the edge of the crater, looking down on them. And for size, this is the lunar lander right here. Of course, it would be from this perspective. That amazing. And I really truly believe that if NASA would have just let us see that, let us know there are other entities out there aware of us, I think the world would have changed for the better. It's really a sad, sad thing that the people of planet Earth were denied this very important message. Now, there was clues that this happened. Oh, phone's ringing. It's Kathy. What's up? Hello?
Oh, I just want to let you know that your audio is glitching on my YouTube, and I'm noticing on the chat on Rumble that Peggy and Connor.
Oh, that's too bad. You know, I have a kind of a sore throat, so maybe it's my throat. Oh.
No, it's not that. It's something in the audio that is making a weird sound.
Okay. All right.
But I just want you to know.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't think there's much I can do for it from this point. Austin Morris says they have that faceted appearance. UFOs are usually smooth. Right. Yes, that's a good point. They might be secret space program, our own people, in other words. I just checked YouTube, seems fine. Oh, and Cap 78 Pack said, Aaron, your audio is glitching bad. Is it on your end or mine? I don't know. I've got a sore throat, so maybe it's not picking up my voice as good as it usually does. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. And Austin Morris says, looks like an illustration from an old pulp science fiction magazine. Well, it's in his book, and he drew it. He's a spacecraft for the Navy. When he worked for Douglas Aircraft in the think tank, the secret think tank, and also worked for TRW and a number of other aerospace firms. Let's check this out from Jonathan Gregory.
In a bombshell revelation that's shaking Washington to a $1,000 payment from the Democratic National Committee directly to 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanullah Lakanwal, the terrorist who ambushed 2 National Guard members in D.C. while shouting, Allahu Akbar. Lakanwal, who slipped into the U.S. under Biden's disastrous Operation Allies Welcome in 2021, yet remained free to plot and execute this heinous attack. President Trump, the unyielding champion of American security, blasted this as the ultimate proof of Democrat treachery, declaring it a seditious coup funded by the radical left to terrorize our heroes. This nightmare fueling Trump's call for immediate mass deportations to purge threats from our soil. As details emerge in this scandal, sources close to the investigation reveal the payment was funneled through shadowy channels to incentivize Lakanwal's strike on service members, aiming to sow chaos and undermine Trump's unbreakable mandate. With millions of unvetted migrants lurking in the shadows, many harboring hatred for America, Trump's vision of ironclad borders and zero tolerance for enemies within, we know who's bankrolling them. Trump thundered, vowing to dismantle the Democrat machine that's arming terrorists against patriots. This expose highlights how Biden's weak policies invited disaster, while Trump's bold leadership promises swift retribution.
Yeah. Thanks, Gregory, Mr. Gregory. That's great. You know what was even more useful than the very first telephone? The second telephone. Oh, much more useful than the first one. You couldn't call anybody. Oh, look at this from Wholesome Memes. Oh, we love wholesome memes here, don't we? The best place on the internet is the reviews of hats for cats, because every review is like 5 stars. Amazing hat. And then the picture of the cat looking absolutely furious. Oh, I can't wait to do a photo shoot with this hat. It's a best shipping. Look at that cat. My cat has been a mushroom fairy. I like it. Very cute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goonie. Oh my goonie. Just in video, not funny. Brandon and JB Pritzker. President Trump's aggressively called out Governor JB Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson, both Democrats, after a horrific A train where a 26-year-old young lady was doused with gasoline and set on fire. He actually chased her down and set her on fire. What a disgusting animal. Those leaders over there are, well, they're probably getting paid by some evil people too. And here she is. Sadly, she passed away. Breaking heart-shattering update out of DC. Sarah Beckstrom, just 20 years old, is not expected to survive, according to her father. Yes, she did not survive. In fact, I did a search and I found her Facebook page. It's still up. It was still up today. And you know what? Let's see. Let's just put it in there and see if it's still there. Yeah, this is from her channel, for her page. Here's her page right here. So here's her page. 195 friends. She looks like a very nice person. Look at her. Graduation suit there. Looks like she made her own butter. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Love you, Sarah Beckstrom. Isn't that how it feels when I'm trying my absolute hardest to sit still? Oh my. So it looks like she was having some struggles. But she looks like who relates? Point of view. The washer and dryer have finished their job. Now it's your turn. And here she was making, this is the wholesome kind of person that she was. Look, she made butter. Yeah, I made butter. Isn't that nice? Just a very nice person. So that gives you a little bit of idea who she was. A beautiful person taken way too soon. Look, he is risen. So she was a Christian. And there's her father when she was younger with her sister. Yes. Oh, now we got it. Behind the scenes here, you don't need to scroll through all that. Might get dizzy scrolling through all that. Well, I hope you're all having a good evening. Let's see, where are we at? La da 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 da. That's where we were. Oh, and gee, I wish we could have found this post before Thanksgiving, because it's a nice tip to put fresh batteries in your food timer. And it's always a good idea to put fresh batteries in your food timer. Very important. Putting fresh batteries in my food timer. That's the fire alarm. Oh, yeah. Texas Chronicles. Thank you, Texas Chronicles. All right. What's this? Oh, the spike in searches of a person's name in the hours before the attack means that people who knew this was going to happen were searching to see if they had completed his task. A known CIA asset who was a trained member of the covert unit of assassins. Make no mistake, whether he came to the U.S. on an SIV visa or humanitarian parole, he has a sponsor, handler, and a detailed dossier. Who is he working with on this operation? Yeah, who? We want to know. Here's our favorite Stephen Miller.
What I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, I pray on from 30% inflation, 20 million illegals, unlimited refugees, violent crime in our cities, to security in our cities, no more illegals, no more refugees, and finally a country that puts American citizens first. Yes, what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, I praise God every day that Donald Trump and illegals, unlimited refugees, violent crime in our cities, to
Okay. Looks like Rose Thistleart's in the house. Hello, Rose Thistleart. That's right. I'm very thankful for that too. Joel Berry, me and thousands of other young men stepped up to fight radical Islam in the Middle East on the claim that you fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. And while we fought overseas, while my brothers bled and died for that claim, our government was importing radical Muslims to Michigan, Texas, Missouri. Thousands of radical mosques going up around the country, all preaching death to the country we love and fought for. The country my brothers died for. And the country their wives gave here too. I don't think people realize how betrayed we feel, how enraged we are. Yes, I can only just imagine. Can you imagine that? I remember that was the rhetoric back. Oh, fight him here, so we don't have to fight him over there, so we don't have to fight him here. Then why bring them here, you idiots? Democrats condemn violence they incited. Yeah, again. Yeah. Oh, did you hear about this? This is interesting. From Evolved Chimp. Scientists discover lemon peels contain salvestrol, Q40. Q has to be good. A natural compound that activates enzymes to target and destroy cancer cells while leaving healthy cells completely untouched. Well, sounds like a good idea to me. I hope that it's not glitching anymore. It might be my cold. I'm having a hard time talking. You might be sensing some of my voice as background sound. I don't know. Oh, and here is from memories from 2 years ago at my brother's garage. Actually, this is in his house, this picture here, the Futurian. Let's go through these. There's the designed it and built it himself. And this is a car that his buddy built. It's a radical custom of a 1956 Chevrolet. Of course, the 59 Chevy rear end modified to look really cool. Oh, and here's my brother talking about some of the cars.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is, man. This is a museum. This is the basement. Museum. 1 second, I just want to take a picture of this. Museum. Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't that nice? He's got a museum. That's his house. So there you go. Here's Tim Burchett. Listen to what he says about extraterrestrials.
And your first question was if Ukraine, it'd be over. Putin's ego, it wouldn't have happened. China, they would control us. Even they pretty much do now, but even more so. So that goes back to my original premise. It's either something that's extraterrestrial or something that we have in our skunk works that we are reverse engineering. And your first question in Ukraine, it'd be over. Putin's ego, it wouldn't have happened. China, they would control us. Even they pretty much do now.
Isn't that interesting? My family wants me to promise a pun-free Thanksgiving. I can't do that. I can't quit cold turkey. Oh, yeah. And Rosas Lart says, awesome to see Aaron's brother in cars. Yes, he's got quite the collection. And Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, I love Mark's Car Museum and old collectibles. His channel is amazing. Moriarity. And I've got some other videos on my channel, on my Rumble channel and my YouTube channel. If you scroll way down, you can see the Mark's Garage and Mark's Garage 2, 2.5. And I think there's more than that. I love it when Burchett calls it skunk works. Well, that's what Lockheed calls their secret group is Skunk Works. They even have a skunk for their logo. That's the only thing they talk about publicly, though, is the name of it, and that it does exist, Skunk Works. So that's why he's saying that. Trump calls for re-examination of Afghan immigrants. So good. Oh, good. Oh, and did you hear about this? The Great Lakes are happened up here in Gills Rock, north of us here. But look, the waves never come over that thing. And look what's happening the other day. I'll probably get a copyright strike. I hope not. This is for educational purposes only. Look at that. That's some big waves. But I guess Lake Erie, on the west shore of Lake Erie, you can't see any water for as far as your eye can see. There was 39-foot waves on Lake Erie. This is Lake Michigan here. Isn't that interesting? Get your car washed up there. Look at this image. Oh my goonie. From NASA. Thanks to NASA's James Webb Telescope. Look at that. It does look like a lizard egg or something, doesn't it? You're looking at APEP, a star system with distinct shells of dust, trio stars, the central trio stars. Okay, 1, 2, 1. How many stars? Right here? 3 right here? I don't know. Yeah. Previous observations could only detect one shell, but scientists hypothesized the existence of others. Now, Webb has revealed 4. Because usually they're going, well, this changes everything. Well, we don't know anything yet. So, of course, it changes everything. But look how arrogant, what an arrogant POS this guy is. Look at that. Remember this back in 2008? We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming America by an illegal alien, Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Insane Obama. Our corrupt government allowed this, both sides of the aisle. Yes, they did. Disgusting. CIA president right there, and not the good part of the CIA. Not everyone goes home for Thanksgiving. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Snoopy and Woodstock. Oh, and don't forget what these Dem scumbags did to us. There's Gavin Newscum right there. Looking back here a couple of years ago, right, from 2020, Thanksgiving guidelines in California: no more than 3 households present, parties no longer than 2 hours, guests must stay outside, avoid singing, chanting, and shouting. What an idiot. And he thinks he's going to be president? You can't put something like that out and be president, in my humble opinion. Look at that. Happy Thanksgiving from Snoopy and the turkey. Bongino Inc. put this out. Fact: President of El Salvador, Nayib Belki, am I saying that right? Increased incarceration 567%. The result was a 95% reduction in murder rate, which is the sharpest drop in El Salvador's history. And liberals say putting criminals in jails doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work, because they need those people to vote for them. or they need to steal their votes. If they're in jail, they can't use them. Oh, this is great. From Wholesome Memes. Imagine having a historic mental breakdown and cutting off your ear. Then years later, it's sold as an eraser. An ear eraser. Oh, Vincent van Gogh, you did it again. You cornered the market on your ear erasers. Look at that. Yeah, disgusting. Oh, not this week, Carl. Keep going. Oh, look, these aliens look like turkeys. They better not stop now, or a couple days ago. Keep going. Keep her rolling, buddy. There you go. That's a good one. Oh, space, the fungal frontier. Oh, yeah, look at that. The Starship Fungal Prize. There you go. Breaking. Stephen Miller says, after today's attack, even asylum seekers and refugees are now on the table for deportation. Enough already. If you came here under Biden, all 20 million, your status will be reviewed. If you're illegal, you're out. If you don't love this country or add value, we'll send you out. Boom. Boom, daddy. Tom Holman leaves Fox host speechless. We're hiring 10,000 more agents. Oh, yes. That's going to be on duty mid-January. That's tripling the size of our enforcement operations. So you can think of the numbers are historic now. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Yeah. Oh, there's our last show. So now we got to go back here. All righty. Are we still glitching out there? Turkey aliens. Yes, turkey aliens. Oh, the memes just keep it coming, don't they? Well, let's break on over to X, because X marks the spot for news. And let's see what's happening over there. There's our show. And here's Lake Erie. Look, there's no water. Let's listen to this guy.
Hey, all my Northern Ohio followers, have you guys ever seen Lake Erie like this? No water whatsoever. Me neither. I've never seen it like that. It's pretty wild. Meteorologist Chris Viggers was up there on Wednesday reporting on this, about the high winds, I guess, can suck the water out. I didn't know that. I'm learning something new every day. He said this. He said Lake Erie was gone. No water as far as the eye can see on Wednesday, he said. And he was standing right there by Cullen Park, which is in the point place taken from where the shoreline of western Lake Erie normally is. And he said this. During the Sheen Wednesday, the water was sucked out of western Lake Erie due to high winds. Water levels plunged 6 feet in less than 24 hours. I had no idea that that was even possible. I have never in my lifetime seen Lake Erie like this. Have you?
Yeah, you may even say it's kind of eerie. Kind of eerie, yes. Oh, look, Tim Walls is retarded. There's proof right there. It's in writing. Has to be true. It is true. He is retarded. He's gay and he's retarded. He's a gay retard. He's disgraceful. He's ruining Minnesota. Look at this. Elon Musk retweeted this out from Nick Sorter. Under Biden, FEMA took money away from Americans in need of disaster relief and spent it on 5-star hotels for illegals. Pure evil, Nick Sorter. They told us FEMA had no money for Americans in Maui, no money for Americans in East Palestine, Ohio, no money for Americans in Western North Carolina. Just disgusting, isn't it? Look at that. Just no money. It's $700 apiece if they weren't Trump supporters, and they got nothing. Disgusting. It's terrible. Terrible what happened. Terrible what happened. Oh, did you hear about this? Trump's Genesis mission? Listen to this.
President Trump signed an historic mission. This is reminiscent of the Manhattan Project that brought World War II to an early and successful end, similar to the Apollo projects that put a man on the moon in 1969. This is an all-in national effort to take the power of AI and pair it with the 40,000 outstanding scientists and engineers at our national labs to use the world's largest supercomputers to advance innovation and science, to fix our rising energy costs, to give better economic opportunities for our citizens, to make longer and healthier lives possible. Today was not incremental, Brett. It was transformative. What we've seen so far is AI applied to language, to search the internet, to find things, to make businesses more efficient or deliver consumer services. This is to pivot over and use that same power, but to use the incredible data sets from our national labs to actually advance scientific progress, scientific discovery, engineering, solve the problem of our electricity grid, a creaky old system that's unstable and has become more expensive. We've got to use smarter science, smarter technology to advance things that better American lives. Yes, we need energy to do that, but that's just one of the enablers of AI. What President Trump signed today, launching this Genesis mission, is going to bring together industry, the national labs, data sets, all tied together in a closed-loop system to just rapidly advance the pace of scientific and engineering progress.
Isn't that awesome? And they'll also find cures for all diseases with AI eventually, I predict. Yeah, and they won't have to use animals for testing. They can use AI models. Julie Donuts put this out. Everything, and I mean everything about Barry is a lie. Installed traitor to help take down America from within. DJT knew it. TikTok demon. And Trump put this out in 2012, 7/18/2012. Weird. Why did Barack Obama Sr. fail to list Barack Obama as his son in his 1961 INS application? Interesting. Yeah, very interesting, you might even say. Well, how do you like that? And Clown World, Elon Musk put this out, says true. Clown World, Jennifer Ruth Green. I just want to point out that the thousands of service members who refused the illegal order from Joe Biden that forced them to get the COVID vaccine were fired without their benefits, and Democrats were perfectly okay with that. With it. Yeah, that's, look at this. This is great. Watch this from the beginning. So the monkey, is this AI or is this real? I don't know. Hard to tell these days, you know. Looks like a pretty heavy monkey, but it's a pretty big bird, and I guess they're used to carrying big fish and big prey. Maybe he's a taxi service. That's kind of interesting. I like that. Look at this. Is this AI? This isn't AI. Mom and all her cubs were out for a stroll recently in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Gosh, unbelievable.
Look at that. That's so cute. Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Don't you want a little bear?
Oh my gosh.
Don't you want a little bear now? Little bears are so cute. I actually got to pet a little bear and hold it. They got really sharp claws, but they're just adorable. They grow fast, though. Austin Morris says, not Obama's real father. So Obama is not really a Kenyan. No, he's not. Probably not. Oh, Peggy says, monkey called an Uber and got a Hoober instead. LOL. And then Austin says, that has to be AI. They don't walk on their hind legs like that. Yes, they do. Bears do. They very most assuredly do. I think the cubs do too. They can. They're probably, you know, one did it and the rest of them copied it. Maybe or maybe the mom was walking like that, or maybe you're right. Maybe it is AI. Who knows, right? Nobody knows. Oh, this is great.
Why do you blame the Biden administration
Because
for
they
what
let
this
them
man
in.
did?
Are you stupid? Are you
no.
a stupid person? Because they came into on a plane along with thousands of other people that should be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost
Why do you blame the Biden administration for
Oh, that's a great meme. You don't ask Trump stupid questions. Why do they keep doing it? Both Trump assassins were featured in BlackRock commercials. Yes, we've known this since the beginning, but let's watch it again.
The action is to appeal to what leaders?
There he is.
What organization?
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and Honors Economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do.
You're like trained assassins.
I hope when I retire someday, they say, you know, that guy made this place a special place to come to school.
He is.
Gave as much as he could to help the community.
Community get destroyed, maybe. BlackRock. It was an evil corporation to me. You wouldn't call yourself BlackRock if you weren't evil. Let's hear what Tim Burchett says. He always says good stuff.
Hey everybody, Congressman Tim Burchett. Yesterday I introduced 3 bills to make everyday life for Americans safer. The first bill codifies President Trump's executive order, and it aims to address the homelessness crisis. It implements stricter enforcement and better treatment options for those folks. The second bill codifies another of President Trump's executive orders by ending cashless bail. You see somebody commit a violent crime, and the next day they're out, and there's nothing, no ramifications to hold them in or make them come back. Finally, the third bill makes public transit safe again, increasing the punishment for various crimes that take place on public transportation. The brutal murder of that young lady on the Charlotte train, that still haunts me, and I'm just unbelievably ticked off about that. These crimes, of course, are preventable, and innocent lives will be saved as a result of passing these bills. I'm sick and tired of Washington politicians talking a big game of solving crime on the campaign trail and then getting to Congress and not doing anything. We have a lot of hearings. We write a lot of strong letters, but dadgummit, nothing becomes of it. Y'all know that's not my style. And I've been fighting for that innocent mama just trying to take her kid to school on the bus, and I'm fighting to end the revolving door of justice. And I'm fighting to clean up our streets. I encourage you to call your member of Congress and tell them to stand with me in our fight to save America. It's worth saving, folks.
It is worth saving. Oh, look at this. The teeth of Sebastian. This is the tridactyls, those 3-fingered, 3-toed creatures from Peru from thousands of years ago. Look at those teeth. Looks like he has extra molars growing in underneath, and his wisdom tooth looks, look at that. But these are not human. Okay, this is not a human looking jaw, is it? No, it's not. Those are not human looking teeth. They're sort of human looking. Humanoid. Just in, President Trump says Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is seriously retarded. Yeah, he is. Seriously retarded. Yes, I'm losing my voice again. Here's Trump.
And nobody knows who the hell they are, Cheryl. These aren't the interpreters that we taught. These were people that rushed into the planes, and they were so interested in trying to make it sound like, oh, they're doing a good job. These people, many of these people are going to be terrorists, okay? They're going to be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft.
They say they're vetting them very carefully with biometrics and documentation.
They're not doing that, and you can't because there is no documentation, and nobody knows who the hell they are, Cheryl. These aren't.
Yeah. They never listen to him. Here's some wise words, and Juanita Broderick, excuse me, Juanita Broderick put this out. She says, "Yep, show me a man that gets rich by being a politician, and I'll show you a crook." President Harry Truman. Yes, I will agree with that. Here's Brian Greene. I called him up and talked to him after I was almost done reading his book, Elegant Universe. So let's listen to Brian Greene. Great guy.
I want to look deeply inside the orange, so I magnify it. And I magnify it again. And if I keep on doing it deep inside, sooner or later, I begin to see molecules. The molecules, I can enlarge them. And if I make them big enough deep inside, I begin to see atoms. Atoms are not the end of the story, too, because we have electrons zooming around the nucleus. Deep inside, mostly empty space in the atom, but deep inside, we see the nucleus. So if I grab that and magnify it, I see that the nucleus is itself made of particles, neutrons and protons. If I grab one of the neutrons and magnify it, I find yet further particles, little tiny quarks inside. Now that is where the conventional ideas stop. String theory comes along and suggests that inside these particles there is something else. So if I take a little quark and I magnify it, conventional idea says there's nothing inside, but string theory says I'll find a little tiny filament, a little filament of energy, a little string-like filament. And just like the string on a violin, I pluck it and it vibrates, creates a little musical note that I can hear. The little strings in string theory, when they vibrate, they don't produce musical notes, they produce the particles themselves. So a quark is nothing but a string vibrating in one pattern. An electron is nothing but a string vibrating in a different pattern. A neutrino, nothing but a string vibrating in a different pattern still. That's the basic idea of string theory.
Yeah. And I called him up. I was reading the book, The Elegant Universe, which is a great book to read. If you don't know anything about physics, you'll learn a lot by that book. And it's easy to read. He makes it very, very palatable. And I was almost done with the book. And I called him up because I had an idea. Because he said that there are 11 dimensions. We can only perceive 3 of these dimensions. The rest of the dimensions are curled up in these Calliope shapes, these twisted up shapes embedded in the fabric of space-time. And I postulated to him, because I had this idea, I called him up and I said, hey, what if gravity is not a particle, but a wave? And that wave, that gravity wave coming from the planet goes through these Calliope shapes and gets amplified. The more Calliope shapes it goes through, the more gravity. He said, wow. He goes, that actually works with general relativity and quantum mechanics. That's excellent. That's really good. A good idea. And then shortly after that, he started working on gravity waves. So Brian Greene, great guy. And I was very happy to be able to talk to him. And he was very receptive, you know. It's hard to talk to important people like that. Sometimes they're not very receptive. Elon Musk, falsely labeling nonviolent people as fascists or Nazis should be treated as incitement to murder. Not the B says the left labeled Charlie Kirk a fascists and he got shot. The left labeled the National Guard deployments fascist. It wasn't hard to guess what would come next. They're right. These are dog whistles for their radicals to go and to eliminate them. It's disgusting. They shouldn't be doing that. And yes, I agree with that. Valerie Ann Smith put this out. And let's hear what RFK Jr. has to say with his vaccine-injured voice.
In a million years, I would not take the flu shot. And I'll tell you why, because this is what Cochrane and BMJ have found. People who take the flu shot are protected against that strain of flu. They're 4.4 times more likely to get a non-flu infection. And you might find, and a lot of people do, that they get the flu shot and then they get sick. They're usually not getting the flu. They're getting something that is indistinguishable from the flu because the flu shot gives you something called pathogenic priming. It injures your immune system so that you're more likely to get a non-flu viral upper respiratory infection. In fact, the Pentagon published a story, and you can cite this, it's by Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E, in January of this year, in which they said that the flu shot not only primes you for flu, but it primes you for coronavirus. If you they gave flu, they had a placebo group and they had a vaccine group because they wanted for military readiness to see if the flu shot was prophylactic against coronavirus. What they found is actually the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely to get coronavirus. And that's not a lone study. We found 6 other major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu shot, you're more likely to get coronavirus. You know, look, all you have to do, Alan, and this is what Cochrane said, is look what's happened to longevity in the elderly since we started mandating the flu shot to elderly people. Those are the people who, their life expectancy has dramatically gone down as the flu shot proliferated. And if you see, you know, the people who died during the COVID during the COVID crisis, many, and there's no science on this, but it's observational, it tended to be people who got their flu shots, people who were in nursing home who all get flu shots, people who are first responders who get flu shots.
respect, I don't understand the implications of your position. If you're right, why wouldn't it follow that the flu shot should be illegal? You said it's criminal to.
It should be. It's because they're evil people, and they're not liable. If they were liable, they wouldn't be able to do it. The Biden administration left these guns with terrorists in Afghanistan while trying to disarm Americans at home. Traitors. Yes, disgusting. Look at all those guns. They have those now. And tanks and helicopters and trucks and all kinds of. And our Bagram Air Force Base, which is the biggest Air Force base in the world. And it's very close to where China makes their missiles. So we wanted to keep it. Trump wanted to keep it. No, they gave it away to the Taliban. Yes, disgusting. They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. That's very accurate meme, and very powerful. They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. President Trump to permanently pause migration from all third world countries, unless you're going to give something positive to the country and you can love the country. Other than that, you're out of here. Oh, and this is a close-up of one of those implanted metal, osmium metal implants with strange writing on it. Sebastian, a 3-foot-tall pterodactyl, has an implant behind his neck with unknown language and writing. Look at that. How do you like that?
And we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. We must now re-examine every single alien.
Yep. That's a good. Look at this insane video of stars orbiting a supermassive black hole that lies at the heart of the Milky Way over a period of nearly 20 years. This time-lapse video is from NACO instrument on ESO's Very Large Telescope in Chile. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Look at this one over here. What is it emanating there? That's pretty bizarre. Is it doing supernova or something? Interesting, huh? You might even say. Oh, and this is Somalian deportation in Minnesota have begun. Trump just axed temporary status for them. And after $1 billion in fraud, funneling cash straight to Al-Shabaab, little Mogadishu, built on fake marriages and stolen welfare, is collapsing. Flights loading up. Ilhan Omar's backyard is shrinking fast. Who's betting? Oops.
Sorry.
Tough luck, Chuck. That's what I say to you folks. This is that from earlier.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked. There were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful.
And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go. We were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision. And we would have left from Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they were incompetent. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. And look at this. Incredible footage of a volcanic eruption of a dormant volcano in Ethiopia from a commercial plane. Look at that.
The clouds. Unbelievable.
Is it AI or is it real?
That's the eruption. Look at that column. We're flying right past it. You can see the lava glowing at the base. It's punching straight through the clouds. Unbelievable. Oh my.
Is it AI or not? Oh! AI generated. Oh, it didn't say that when I first put it up there. But yeah, if you think it is, it probably is. Now, procession underway for Sarah Beckstrom. So sad. So a great way to honor her. But look at this. My home state of Michigan is experiencing record-breaking waves in every single lake at the same time. I'm sure this is totally normal for an inland lake to have 39-foot waves when the average wave height is 1 to 3 feet. 19 feet, 24 feet, 22 feet, 39 feet. My goonie. Oh, wait. Of course. Of course. And more about Sarah Beckstrom. And there's our last show. So that does it for tonight. And that's about all my throat can handle, folks. I hope that I'm better by Monday. Oh boy, thank you a lot for coming along for truth questing with us, for questing for the truth. Because you guys are the truth questers. You guys rock. I'm going to give my little message. Thank you all so very much. And my keyboard is still working. Miracle upon miracle. Oh, and Rose Thistle Art says, are you okay there, Aaron? Are you near the lake? Yes, I'm near. Well, I'm near. I'm on a peninsula. So, yeah, it's not a good place to be. With Lake Michigan on one side and the Bay of Green Bay on the other side. Is it? Is that what the two are? Anyway, I haven't seen anything except way up north. So I haven't seen anything. I'm on the east or the west side, not on the east side. So I think the wind's blowing the other way. I think. It reminds me of the Edmund Fitzgerald song. Yeah. And Kathy says, good night, everyone. And I said, thank you all so very much. And then Peggy Dancer, I pray you all are safe and sound and that you feel better, Aaron. Well, thank you. I hope so too. I haven't been sick in so many years, so it's really hard to take. Thank you, Aaron, says Chronivere. You're welcome, buddy. Rose Thistle Art says, thank you, Aaron. Good night and sweet dreams, everyone. Be well. Thank you, Rose. Good to see you here. Oh, dear, that's a bit stressful. Yeah. And Austin Morris says, the legend is told from the Chippewa on down about the great lake they call Gitchigumi. Gitchigumi. It's going to get you, Gumi. Prayers up, much love and peace in everywhere, and hope you have a great weekend. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you too, Peggy. Appreciate that. And Austin Morris says, thank you, Aaron. You're welcome, buddy. Appreciate you. And Peggy Dancer, everyone. Thanks, Peggy. Then Austin Morris says, good night, fellow Truth Questers. Good night, buddy. All righty then. Well, thanks again. Don't forget to share this on out. Hit the old thumbs up. And we'll see you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because we're just on Range of Strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO. You come on the Truth Quest and talk about it, because we love to hear you talking about it, because we like UFO stories, don't we? Nothing better. Oh, look, you can see the area where they sit. Very sparse inside. Everything was like, there was no rivets or anything. And you really couldn't see these lines, but when certain things came up on a little screen, one of these areas, these arched-looking areas here, would become clear. So the idea is the model kit, you could paint all of it except one of these silver, and then you'd have that clear area. All right, well, we'll see you on Monday. Until then, peace in. Have a great weekend.